Morning peeps, how are we all doing? Right, it's Monday. Time for Toby to go for a walk, so we're going out for a little walk today. Yeah, I've been watching everything that's going on with the protests and riots and everything like that, and it just totally amazes me that the country's in such a state that people that are actually protesting about this thing it started off with the stabbings in Southport, and the riots all came about because of misinformation on the internet. As I've always said, I've been working with the internet since I left the army in 2000, in its infancy, and I've always said, yeah, the internet's a very powerful tool, very useful tool, but also a very dangerous tool. And I think the past couple of days have proven that. We're talking about the fact that these mobs that have all sort of linked up, and there's been stuff put in the media about the person that stabbed these kids and killed them. Yeah, it was a Muslim. Turns out it wasn't. Yeah. But of course everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. And it doesn't matter which way you look at it. Yeah. There's bad people in all walks of life, not just Muslims, there's Christians, there's Jews, there's bloody whatever, that are bad people. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, they're just bad people, end of. So of course now we've had this whole situation, especially over this last weekend, with the various riots and everything and protests around the areas. Now, I'm a great believer that the police should have stamped on this ages ago. Yeah, it's quite easy to quell a riot. It's called CS gas, battle rounds and things like that. And people will say to me, oh, you can't do that, Nobby. I'm sorry, but when it becomes a riot, they're no longer lawful protesters. Yeah, they're a mob. And that's the way that they should be treated, as a mob. Now, it's ironic that when you look at the European continent, yeah, they get that sort of thing. Out come the water cannons, out comes the CS gas, or tear gas as you civilians would probably know it as. Yeah, and the actual riot is quelled. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. Yeah, these people are not doing the right thing. Yeah, they're unlawful. Yeah, and they should be treated as such. We're getting police officers that are injured and so on. We're getting properties that are being looted, cars being burnt out. And they tell me that's a lawful protest. No, it's not. But it's all come about really because of the unrest. Yeah, and people want to do something to actually show the politicians that they've had enough. Well, to be honest, your protests and your rioting, yeah, isn't going to change what the politicians do one iota. It's not affecting them. And it's the same when I see protests about various other conflicts in other countries. Yeah, do you really believe that you protesting in the UK is going to make any difference to what goes on in those various other countries where these wars are happening? No, it's not. Yeah. No one takes any notice. It's as simple as that. Because politicians are just the way that they are, I'm afraid. We've got old Starmer in power now. And I'm not a political person, but I'll tell you now, my look on things is, don't matter who you put in power. Yeah, the only people they take care of is themselves. Yeah, once they get on that gravy train, that's it. They'll promise you the earth and they'll deliver nothing. So, the world is what it is. Until mankind can figure out how to get on with each other, that's the way things are going to be. So that's why I tend to steer clear of all this. I mean, I've got some friends that were on about the protests in Leicester, is it safe to go out? You shouldn't need to ask if it's safe to go out. I must admit, I don't go into Leicester, I hate the bloody place. Lisa and I, we actually do all of our shopping there in Loughborough. I was in Leicester just the other week, and I couldn't wait to get out again. It's not the Leicester that I came up and sort of moved into about 19, 20 years ago. Most of the shops are desolate. They're all closed down because businesses can't afford to run anymore. Yeah, high streets are disappearing because everyone's doing everything online. Yeah, and that's what makes me laugh. You get people moaning about the fact that there's no shops in the high streets. Well, stop shopping online then. Yeah, but I understand why some people do it. You get the same product at probably about a third of the cost by buying it online. So, you know, it's the markup that the shops are making or the businesses are making that's causing all the issues. And again, that all comes down to how greedy today's society is, and that's my opinion, and I will live and die by my opinion. The world has become too greedy. Yeah, I was talking the other day and we were on about house prices. You only go back to the 70s and you would have bought a house for around about £5,000 to £6,000. Yeah, and that was a lot of money in them days, £5,000 to £6,000. Here we are, sort of 40, 50 year on, and those houses, we're just having a new village built. Most of those houses, you're talking 400,000 plus for a 3-bedroom house. Tell me that ain't greed. Yeah, and everyone goes on about economy, you know, rising economy. We used to survive quite happily in the 70s, 60s and 70s, or should I say my parents did, because I was only a kid. But they lived quite happily, got around, did things that they wanted to do on the wages that they earned. And so it was never an issue. Never really was an issue. But there you go, that's the way of today. So, I put a thing on yesterday. Week today, I'll begin the Coast to Coast Challenge. Looking forward to it, really am. Yeah, 192 miles from the west coast at St Bees over to the east coast at Robin Hood's Bay. I've had to set up a crowdfunding thing. I wanted to do a team page in Just Giving, but unfortunately I've had to do a crowdfunding because even though the charities are recognised charities, they're not listed with Just Giving. And the fiasco we're having to go through trying to get these registered charities registered with Just Giving has just gone on and on and on, to the point that if I don't do the Coast to Coast Challenge next week, basically I've missed out and I'll have to wait another year. So on the channel will be daily updates of my jaunt across the country. And as I've said, if anyone's on the route and they want to pop out and see me or whatever, yeah, please feel free to do so. I'll try and let you know each day what the route's going to be. Yeah, and if you see me going by, give me a wave. Yeah, bit of encouragement. But so it's going to be 10 days of fun. So looking forward to it. Hope you look forward to it as well. Have a great Monday. And, Toby's trying to drag me around everywhere at the minute. But yeah, have a great Monday and I'll catch up with you soon.